Hey, when it comes to real estate, you need to have a realtor that knows how to play football, knows the game inside and out. If you don't believe me, watch this video. I'll tell you exactly how that all breaks down. You know, there's a lot of similarities between football and real estate. And today we're going to sit there and go through and talk about how that coordination goes back and forth. It goes with teamwork, the planning, preparation, understanding the defenses as well as the competition, what's available, and playing to your strengths. So let's take a few minutes. I spent a lot of time here on this field, as well as more. Personally, I spent many years playing, many years coaching. I've got 3 boys that played. Football is really endearing to my heart. So let's talk about it, and let me prove to you how real estate and football are so closely related. Hey, let's look at just the timing and teamwork. So in real estate, you have a team that's really important. You've got your title, your mortgage people, your inspectors, your photographers, your videographers. You've got all kinds of people that are really key to the team in real estate. In real estate, there are people that don't have those teams. I've got one of the best teams in this state, and I really believe that. And so happy to help you. So now let's talk about teamwork when it comes to the football field. It's always really interesting to me how the quarterback gets all the praise or all the blame. And you know, the quarterback really he's one cog in the wheel, but in football, you really have 11 players on each side trying to win one play at a time. It's really how it works. And a lot of times people just look at the overall, they look at the score, but you know, as a former player, as a former coach, as you look at things, you can look at nuances in the players, in the plays, the timing, and you can really see how that all goes together and works together. I'll give you an example. So if you have a quarterback that he's going to throw a pass to the receiver is going to go 5 yards down the field and turn and go toward the sideline. It's called a 5-yard out. Well, with that 5-yard out, it's really one of the basic plays. But if you watch, depending on how that receiver stops and turns the corner at the 5 yards, when the quarterback throws the ball, because most of the time, especially as you look into college and some of the higher levels, that pass is thrown before the receiver even turns that corner. When you look at the quarterback, if a quarterback throws a ball crazy, you know, this way, that way, out of bounds, whatever, if you watch and go back and look, most of the time it starts with his feet, because it's not the arm, it's not anything that way, it's his feet, because your feet have to be in line with where you're throwing the ball. Well, real estate's that same way. You've got to have a mortgage person that's in line with that knows the house that you want to buy, what the price point is, how's the best to get it into you, is it FHA, is it a VA, what kind of loan is best for you. You've got to be able to have that teamwork dialed in that much. If you're selling a house, you need somebody like a realtor with a marketing background that can tell the story of your house. And if you want to learn more about telling the story, check out some of the other videos. I got a whole video about telling the story of the house. But you tell the story. You've got to have a photographer and a videographer that can make things look absolutely stunning. And it's all that teamwork that goes together that really brings the teamwork and brings real estate to life. You know, when it comes to real estate, practicing is really important. And when you practice that, you need to be able to know what's for sale, what's the market doing, what are the trends, so that you can match the trends and go from there. When it comes to football, from a coach's standpoint, every season that you'd start with a fresh team, it was always interesting to find out what the dynamics of the team were. Are they really strong? Are they really fast? Are they really smart? Do you have a combination of? And combination was always preferred, but and then, you know, how much did they practice? So, you know, were they out hitting the sleds and really working hard in the off season? Were they running? Were they playing other sports to really help keep them going and in shape for football? Those are real important things. But and then from a coaching standpoint, it's playing to the strength of your team. You know, is your team going to be a running team? Is it going to be a combination of? You see, like the Air Force Academy and most of the military academies just run the ball, and they don't throw a whole lot. Some of the others programs you see, they do a lot of passing and a lot of other things that way. It's a little more exciting, a little faster game. But a lot of that is because they have the talent that goes with that. So my point being is, when you're ready to sell a house or buy a house, you need to make sure that you have that same kind of a talent in your real estate team that you have on that the football team has on the football field. You know, one of the last things to kind of talk through and talk about a little bit is just the what kind of risk do you want? Because in football, you've got high risk plays, you've got low risk, you know, running the ball. You watch most all your teams, first down, they run the ball. Well, why? Well, because they're just testing to see, because if they can get a good run, then they can take some risk on that second down and maybe throw a deep pass instead of just running the ball again. It really kind of comes down to, what is your risk level? Real estate's the same way. Do you want to speculate on real estate? Do you want to invest in real estate? Is it just a personal home? Is it a second home? What is your risk level? You know, even in an offer, you know, do you want to be aggressive with your offer? Do you want to be real, just say, you know what, I really want this house, let's get it. So let's not mess around and try to figure out, you know, other things to do. Let's just get me the house. Well, all of that stuff is really important to a real estate agent, because we need to match your risk. So when I talk about risk, what's a good risk when it comes to football? I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I'm coaching, I've got an 8th grade team, and I've got a kid on the team. Well, I've got a quarterback that can throw a long way, and I've got a kid that is just super fast. And so we are on the 3-yard line going the other direction. So the other team tackles us in the end zone, it's a safety, right? So we're sitting on the 3-yard line, it's 3rd down, and we haven't moved the ball running at all. So I shift the guys around, put that fast guy in at tight end, right at the end of the line of scrimmage, into the lineman, and we snap the ball. And I threw a pass, or had the quarterback throw a pass right down the middle of the field, and told him to get it up in the air. And my fast guy ran underneath it, and we scored on a 97-yard touchdown play. That was really risky doing it from the 3-yard line, but it worked that time. Other times it doesn't work. And with each team, and that was one of the joys that I had coaching, is all the guys and the people that you coach, they're just so much fun. They all have their own personalities. I had a kid one time that he came to the game, and he was walking bow-legged, any old cowboy you've ever seen. He was just walking bow-legged, and I was like, what have you been doing? And he's like, well, I spent about 6 hours this morning helping ride horses. And I'm like, so you're riding horses and now you're going to go play football and snap the ball. Well, there we go. Kind of an interesting thing. He did a good job, got it done. But you've always got personalities. You've always got different things that way you've got to work with. And to me, that was always a lot of fun from a football standpoint. It's also a lot of fun for me and a challenge to be able to take different people and really maximize their real estate needs and transactions, whether it's a whole development, whether it's a commercial piece for a hotel. No matter what it is, you know, I really like working with real estate. I really like working with you. Check out all the videos that I've got on all kinds of different things, investments, cap rates, different things that way. But really, when it comes down to it, make sure your real estate person is also a football person, because then that way they know how to maximize the team, how to have a really good team, and not fumble the ball when it gets handed to them. Have a great day. Check out all the videos.